Hello students, let's start with the class 5 science chapter reproduction in plants. In this chapter we are studying about reproduction only in the plant kingdom, right? We start with the flowers. See, here it is given like we reproduce as human beings, so the plants also reproduce. This is a method of producing of their own kind another plants, right? So how have you seen reproduction in plants in the form of seeds? Like if you sow some seeds, you see after few days the plant comes out, right? So generally you have seen through flowers, the plants which have flowers, they are called flowering plants, and from there we get seeds. So in this chapter we will study about various methods and how this happens. So let's start with the flower. See, these are the parts of the flower which are given. If you see a hibiscus flower, गुलमोहर का फूल जिसे बोलते हैं, you will get it anywhere. You just open it and see it yourself. It is really very interesting. You would be seeing that these are the structures which are present. See the green part, which is called the sepal. Then we have the lower part. This is called the pedicel. Then we have the stigma and the style. This together is called the pistil. And on the left side, as you can see, there is anther filament called the stamen. See, all parts have a specific function to perform. Like we start with the green part. If you see the bud, it is enclosed in the green part. So what it happens is that it protects the flower during that stage, so that it is able to blossom properly. So for the protection, the sepal looks like green leaves at the bottom of the flower, which is given to protect the flower in the bud stage. Then we have petals. They are very much brightly colored. Why? Because it helps attract insects for pollination. We are going to study the meaning of pollination. Have you seen the butterflies come and sit only on the colored flowers basically, or the insects? So this is a type of attraction. The more colorful, the more insects. Stamen is the male part of the flower. It is made up of a thin stalk called filament with a bag like head called anther. So this is the filament, and the yellow part which you can see, the bud like, that is called the anther. This together is the male part. So if the question comes that what is the male part of the flower, it is the stamen. It has two parts, anther and filament. Then we have the female part, which is called the pistil. It consists of ovary, style and stigma, and the flower is attached to the pedicel. See, the main question here arises only about the male reproductive part and the female reproductive part. Function can be asked. Why petals are colored? What is the function of sepal? Now what happens actually, these are called the stages of reproduction in flowering plants, which we are going to study. The adult plant produces flowers. It has male and female reproductive parts. The anther contains small grains of pollens. The pollen grains from the anther of one flower are transferred to the stigma of the same flower or another flower, which is called pollination. Now this is the definition of pollination. See, here in the anther there are small grains. Now these grains are to be transferred here. So how are they going to get transferred? With the help of insects, wind. There are many other things by which you can generally, when the insect is sitting, it gets stick here and it gets here, or to the another flower. When the insect is going to another flower and sitting there, it is going to stick to the stigma. From the stigma it forms a tube here inside, and it goes, the pollen grain reaches the ovary where the fusion takes place. Till that you don't have to study that much. Just remember these things, that the definition of pollination, it can be in the same flower, or it has to be the another flower. It can be of the same plant or even of a different plant, which is called cross pollination. Okay, self means same and cross means different, though it is not given here, so you should know only the definition of pollination. But yes, it can happen in the same flower or it can happen in another flower. Fine. Now this is an important question. What happens after pollination? Suppose the pollination has taken place. It means that here the pollen grains from the anther has reached up to the stigma here. Then what will happen? Actually the pollen grains move here, fusion takes place. So here you are going to write that ovary swells up. See, this portion, you remember an apple. Okay, here how the apple grows, here this is going to swell up, it will become big and it changes a fruit. See, by the diagram you can say this is a big thing, so it further becomes big and this is how it changes to a fruit. And what about these small structures inside which are called the ovules? They actually change into the seeds. So these small things are the ovules. So you remember, in the form of an apple, the big part is the fruit, inside is seeds. Similarly, the big part, O is always big, round. So O means ovary, ovary will become the fruit. And the small part which are the ovules, S बहुत छोटे 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 बहुत सारे हैं, plural form, so you remember they become the seeds. So this can come as a filling the blanks or as a question itself. Right, now we come on to the seeds. Now here they are saying that seeds, you know, you must have seen so many fruits having a seed. So they have given the structure of a seed. So this is how this activity which is given, you must have done in your summer vacations. They generally give in class 3, 4. You soak the seeds, or even you can do it right now overnight, and you will see sprouts eaten by so many people. If you soak them, the moong dal, you will say next day there is a green covering outside, it will start coming off. From there a small plant, whitish parts, it comes out. You do this activity and then you will come to know that how it works, right? So if you break and if you want to see the seed inside as such, you take the rajma seed, which is very big, so it is easy to break the seed. That is an example of a dicot seed. So when you break it, it will have two parts: seed coat, the outer covering, then is the cotyledon and the embryo. Now these parts have different functions. Now the seed coat is always going to protect the seed. Cotyledons is the inside part, it provides nutrition to the growing embryo, and embryo is a baby plant present inside the seed. So this comes out only when you soak it or when it gets a favorable condition. So some seeds, like I said, if you see peas, beans, pulses, any type, particularly if you see rajma is a very big seed, so it is easy, you break it into two parts. Dicot seeds, di का मतलब होता है double, mono means single, which has only one cotyledon. Maize, rice, wheat. Okay, now we come on to the germination of the seeds. So this is another long question which generally comes. These stages you need to remember and also draw the diagram. See, this is how, whenever you are soaking the seeds, if you do this activity, what actually happens is that this, you will see a small, like the sprouts I said, a small thing coming out. What actually it is the radicle, and then is the plumule. Radicle, R for radical, R for root, remember it. So it is the root which first comes out, and then is the stem which comes out. So these two words are important, radicle and plumule, and this is what is called the seedling. So here the definitions are given. Process by which a seed develops into a seedling is called germination. These are the stages of germination with the diagram. So it first is the swelling, root coming out called radicle, shoot coming out called plumule, then it becomes the seedling. And what happens to this dicot? See, it is still here in stage 5. Why? Because it is providing, we just had read now that it provides nutrition to the growing embryo. So it is still providing nutrition till the proper leaves come out which are able to do photosynthesis, and then it falls off. Here it is given, yes, we have seed banks. Now bank generally is for storing money. What about the seed banks? Obviously they are going to store seeds. Which type of seeds? See, there are so many seeds in this world. If you don't preserve them, they are going to get extinct, right? So it is very important for this diversity, so that our next generation can also come to know that these type of seeds used to be there, or these type of, you can use these seeds for growing plants. So it's important to now this you will study in your senior classes, why it is important to preserve, why there is need of diversity, right? So till now just remember, yes, there are seed banks. Now we come to the next topic, dispersal. Now seeds have to be sown either by human beings, otherwise now you see, without we sowing, you can see by the side of the road so many trees are present. How? Where will the seeds come from? Right? Somebody has to put them in the soil. So what happens, by nature is so beautiful that it has made all the arrangement of dispersal. Now why there is dispersal required? Like you have, if you have so many children sitting in the same class, how do you feel? It is so much crowded, then humid, then you feel like, oh, there should be proper space. Similarly for the seeds also, if all the seeds fall at the same place, what will happen? They will turn into seedling, they will start growing, but then there will be fight for sunlight, water, nutrition. At the same point they are present, so they need to be dispersed. So this question is also important. What is the need of seed dispersal? You need it for adequate food, water, sunlight. Otherwise, after some time, if they don't get, they are not going to survive further. Now, modes of seed dispersal. Modes means ways how the seed can be dispersed, right? So one is wind. This is possible only when the seed is very lightweight. You must have seen dandelion seeds, they are present almost everywhere. Why? Because through wind they can travel. So these are the characteristics of the seeds which can travel only by wind. Lightweight, wings, having wings, air, feathers. Then animals too, either they swallow it, and droppings means through their potty it comes out, right, as they travel, or they will even eat it. And they are so intelligent, some of the animals and birds also, they will throw the seed off, so they throw it anywhere they feel like, right? And from there, if the seed gets the proper soil, water, it will germinate. Then water. Now water seeds have to be the one which can be dispersed by water. They have to be very hollow, which can float in water. So through the waves they reach the shore and they then start growing. Then this seed pod explosion. See, some of the seeds pod का मतलब होता है वो बंद होते हैं जिसमें, जैसे कि green peas you have seen, that is called a pod. So the seeds which are present and enclosed inside it, so when it becomes dry, it gets exploded. That is why they have used the word explosion. Pea and ladyfinger is one of the examples. So you have to remember the names, the modes: wind, animals, water, seed pod, explosion, and the examples, and especially the characteristics in case of wind and water, because all the seeds will not go through wind and water. Then there is a special example of seeds which are sticky. If these are very common in desert areas especially. So when the animals are moving around, they stick to their fur, they move along with the animals, and finally when the animal is shaking itself, it falls off and then they grow there. Okay, like this example has been given. Why is dandelion seed different from a coconut? Again the same thing, by water, by wind. Characteristics: this is lightweight, this is hollow, so it can float. You got the answer? This I have said, importance of seed dispersal. These are the same things which I have already covered. Now we come to reproduction. You must have seen plants which do not have seeds, right? So in that case, what is going to happen if you don't have seeds? There are so many plants, so there has to be another method by which we need to grow these plants. Okay, wait. So vegetative propagation is a method by which we are growing new plants without the use of seeds. So we can use other parts of the plants. Now here the example has been given of root, like carrot, radish, turnip, sweet potato. Then we have given the example of stem. Rose is a very